been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day, to this day.
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me, so hard work, hard work.
You know we been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day, to this day.
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me, so hard work, hard work.
You know we been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day, to this day. To this day, to this day. Fighting 400 and still fighting to this day, to this day.
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me, so hard work, hard work.
Fighting 400 and still fighting to this day, to this day.
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me, so hard work, hard work.
You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day, to this day.
Mic check. What up? What's going on, fight fans? Gym boxing family, this your boy Get a Mic. Welcome back to the stream, man. We live from Florida. We back home, man. One hell of a trip. Errol Spence and Shawn Porter appears to have been a success, man. Man. That was the best fight I've ever seen, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Make sure y'all give the like button a good smash. Hit that like button with like a triple jab and then uppercut that thing, man. Really appreciate everybody for coming through, man. We're gonna get into it today. We're gonna talk Errol, we're gonna talk Porter, we're gonna talk future opponents. Just pretty much everything surrounding this fight, man. And Errol Spence and Shawn Porter is being reported by Mike Coppinger. And on the actual Boxing News 24 website, they actually got it up that Spence and Porter actually generated over 300,000 buys. Man, that's a success, man. That's a success, man. That's some big stuff right there. And it seemed like the numbers are still pouring in, and it might end up being more than that. But, man, shout out to Errol Spence for being a star. Shout out to Shawn Porter for being a tremendous athlete, a hell of a boxer, man. Both of these guys put on a very, very, very entertaining show. At the end of the day, man, the fans won. I don't care what nobody say, bro. If you're a boxing fan and you like boxing, you won that night, man. So I could not be more pleased and more happy with the performances of not only Errol Spence, man, but Shawn Porter too, man. Just a hell of a fight. You can't ask for more. So the whole trip in general was dope. I know, we're gonna probably talk about the trip and stuff later on, but the fight, man, Errol Spence, started off kind of slow. He started off kind of slow. You could tell it was a little bit tricky to try and figure out what Shawn was trying to do. Shawn Porter, man, he looked like he was ready to fight. Dude looked like he was so ready to fight, man. And I think, where I think the fight kind of took a turn for the wrong, in my personal opinion, is that, when Kenny told him to really go after Errol Spence and start fighting kind of like a little more wild. I think now, looking back and really thinking about it, I really think, if Shawn Porter would have just kept boxing the way he did in the first 6 rounds and, just being aggressive when it was necessary, but keeping that jab at Errol Spence, keep throwing that triple jab and punching it with the right hand. If he would have kept doing that, in my opinion, man, I just felt like he would have fought a cleaner fight. He probably ended up wouldn't have got clipped at the end, man. But, the better man won. Errol Spence Jr. definitely showed some vulnerabilities in this fight. He showed that he definitely, although he had superhuman strength in some areas, he showed that he was human in other areas, man. So just one hell of a fight, just super exciting. And, I can't, let me see. It says Errol Spence Jr. showed that he's the new pay-per-view king for the welterweight division. With this unification fight against Shawn Porter tracking at over 300,000 pay-per-view buys on Fox Sports, Spence-Porter is expected to bring in 350,000 pay-per-view buys, according to Mike Coppinger. So that's somewhere close to about what Wilder and Fury did, I think, somewhere around there. And in my personal opinion, that's somewhat of a success, man. That's pretty good, from the standpoint that you have two boxing fans from the same background. You have, two what they would call African-American fighters, okay, 2 Hebrew fighters. And usually fights do much, much better when you have 2 different demographics. When you have, let's say you have a Mexican and an Eastern European, or Eastern European and an African-American. And usually when you get the different demographics blending is when you get the biggest, the biggest amount of pay-per-view buys. But for these 2 brothers to get in the ring and share the ring in such entertaining fashion, dog, it was, man, it was a success. I got to say that was a success, man. It says those numbers could eclipse the 300,000 plus buys Spence's previous fight against Mikey brought in earlier did. It says, although Porter tried arguing that he was the reason for the fight being a success, it's more of a case of Spence being the #1 pay-per-view attraction. So Errol Spence is showing, he's been showing that he's gaining a lot of popularity. But see, one of the things is in this fight, right? I just wish Shawn Porter would have kept it at the same rate that he was doing in the first half of the fight. But you could tell his energy probably started to go down a little bit at some point towards the end. But man, if he would have just kept up that same fighting style, man, he would have probably won this fight. Or at least when he kept knocking Errol Spence back and hitting him hard, I felt like if he would have just went in a little bit harder, he could have ended up getting a stoppage. But you gotta really think about it, man. Like, the fans in the arena were hella shook. I mean, they were hella shook. Like, you can just hear how quiet everybody was, man. How seriously nervous they were for Errol Spence, because the majority of the crowd came out for Errol Spence. The majority of the crowd wanted to see Errol Spence be successful. And when they saw Shawn bringing that work, man, them boys was nervous, man. EJ Jones, what's going on? He says, great fight. Who does Porter fight now? Man, that's a good question, man. I imagine they're going to try to get Shawn Porter another decent name on his resume. I'm not sure if they're going to try and go for a top welterweight, but if I had my pickings at it, I would like to see him in there with, try to make that fight with Crawford or something. If they can make that Porter Crawford fight, man, I'm all in. I am all in if they can make that fight, because that'll be a fight right there. What if Shawn Porter goes over there and get that WBO belt? I don't really know if that's gonna happen because the PBC is not even recognizing the WBO. But so I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. But I want to see Porter mix it up with all the top guys. I want to see another. I'll see a Keith Thurman rematch. Like, man, I feel like that Shawn Porter beats pretty much a lot of the other welterweights. I think that Shawn Porter knocks out Keith Thurman. The same Keith Thurman that fought Pacquiao, I think that Shawn Porter knocks him out, or either gets a unanimous decision with an ugly beatdown. That Shawn Porter that night beats a lot of fighters, man. South Phoenix, I see you in there, family. That Shawn Porter beats a lot of fighters. I can't necessarily say if he beats Bud right now because I don't want to jump off the limb. I haven't done enough film study. I've looked at Bud a little bit today. But the way I see it, man, is like the way the styles mesh up, though, Bud Crawford, in my opinion, is still tough for anybody. And the reason why I say that is because he's such a good boxer. And a lot of times when your boxing skill is up to par, like Bud Crawford's is, and you got boxing skill and you can crack, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. Troy Williams, I see you in the building. He says Thurman and Garcia comment was a joke. What you mean it was a joke? I didn't see the commentating. I didn't know. I didn't hear it. He says, how much do you think Porter weighed on Saturday? Probably close to 160, I think. Shawn Porter's kind of short, looked a little strong. Maybe somewhere around 160, 165, maybe. I think. Yeah, man, but I don't know, man. Errol Spence, he showed a lot of vulnerabilities early in the fight against guys that got quick feet, guys that got quick hands, and if it wasn't for his drive and determination, his will to push through, and that second win when that second win came in, and he just continued to keep pushing. If that wouldn't have happened, then he says he looked huge. Well, you got to think about it, bro. Like, these guys they different in height. Like Errol Spence Jr., his weight, is stretched across a longer frame. So Shawn Porter he's a much shorter guy. So a lot of times his weight is gonna compact down into a compact size, and a lot of it is, he's gonna be the bulkier guy on the night. Because Errol Spence is a much bigger human being in general, if Errol Spence gets that big, he's gonna be much heavier at that size. You know what I'm saying? But Shawn Porter, he's so small, like short, he can get away with that kind of muscle and still be at a decent weight. But I could just tell, man, I feel like Shawn Porter, like I was telling a lot of guys too, you had YouTube channels out there saying that, the fact that Shawn Porter was training so early before the fight, a lot of people took that as, oh, he's overtraining. Do you think he's overtraining? Oh, he's stuttering when he speaks. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, Shawn Porter always talks like that. He wasn't overtraining. He didn't have lack of water on the brain. Like, what are we talking about here? What it ended up being on that situation was that Shawn Porter, you can tell he was training, but he wasn't doing a gruesome type of training. He was training, staying in shape, doing a little here, just getting himself ready for that gruesome training camp. And I think it worked out perfectly. I think he peaked out at the perfect time for this fight. And as I feel like, man, against Errol Spence, you got to be 100%, and you can't be 99. I feel like Shawn Porter came and brought everything. He surprised and shocked a lot of people. Didn't really shock me because I kind of knew what time it was when I saw this whole thing breaking down. I knew Shawn was going to come in with that heat. But, I feel like he put it together as best as he could, but it just came up short. That 1%, when he threw that left hook and got caught, that could have been the difference right there. Because even right now, what's up, David Deion Simmons? I see you in there, family. Even right now, you got a lot of people that still believe Shawn Porter won the fight. I'm talking about in comment sections. Not necessarily me, because I thought that knockdown is what got him up out of there. That was the deciding factor for me, man. It was, that fight could have been either way before that. But as soon as he got knocked down, it's like, oh, that's it. Because Errol Spence was never out of the fight. He was always in the fight. He was always there. Even when he got hurt, he was still there. But, but just got to be 100%, EJ Jones says, got to respect Porter to the utmost now. Spence has unlimited dog in him. Yeah, you got a point, man. You definitely got a point there, man. I feel like, man, I've always been, very, very, how can I say, hype about Shawn Porter, what he can do, man. I've always been hype about Shawn. I always thought he was a good dude. I thought he was a good fighter. Certain fights is different than other fights. Everybody was so quick to say how the Ugas fight just made Shawn Porter just the trashiest boxer on the earth. But y'all make it seem like Ugas is not a decent fighter, though. Not you. I'm not talking about y'all per se. But Ugas he's a complete fighter. He's a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? So he was a mandatory. Obviously, Shawn Porter probably wanted to fight a different fight, but he fought the fight that they put in front of him. He didn't look that good in that fight, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he wasn't going to come out harder for this fight. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was telling people, Errol Spence and Shawn Porter are both going to look completely different than they did in their last fights. Errol Spence looked different in this fight than he did versus Mikey Garcia. And Shawn Porter looked a whole lot different in this fight than he looked against Ugas, So, but anyway, man, I want to hear some of the Gym Boxing family on y'all thoughts. Hold on, let me see something here. All right, so turn this music down. Just gets a bit too loud. Yeah, so I want to hear some of the Gym Boxing family, man. We're gonna open up them call lines right now. 561-935-5186. Please call in. Let me know how you feel about the fight. And it was one hell of a fight to me. South Phoenix says, tip my hat to Porter, man. Has a chin. It's freaking rock solid. Yeah, he do. He says fans are fans. No reason boxing people who really know boxing thinks he won. Only the casuals. Yeah, I guess you could say that, man. But I can see also how people can see, early in the fight, man, it wasn't looking good for Errol. And depending on how they scored it on their scorecards, you could have probably scored a lot of those early rounds for Porter. Just depending on how you score fights. It's not necessarily that they casuals, but everybody has a preference when they score fights. Some people look for the clean, smooth, effective punches. Some people look for the more noticeable power shots. Some people look for what done more damage. You know what I'm saying? And early in those rounds, when Errol Spence was getting his head knocked back, he was getting punched hard. And some of those punches were the defining punches in the round that a lot of people probably gave, 5 out of the first 7 rounds to Porter, just based on how it looked. When you see a guy get hit and he flies against the ropes like he about to fall and the ropes got to hold him up, if Errol would have got a little bit further down on the ropes, that should have been a knockdown. Because usually when the ropes hold you up, a lot of times the refs say, hey, that's a knockdown. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't counted a knockdown, but because he just pretty much fell back into the ropes. But I can see how a lot of people can score a lot of those earlier rounds for him. There's our first caller right there. $901, where you from? What's your name?
What's up, man? My name is Corey. I'm from Memphis.
You say your name Corey from where?
From Memphis.
Oh, what's going on, man? Shout out to Michigan, bro. Appreciate you for calling. What's happening?
Nah, not Michigan, Memphis.
Oh, from Memphis. Okay, cool.
What's going on? I was trying to, let me try to see what I'm trying to say. I was trying to see, how did you really score the fight?
I
didn't score it, but how did you really just look at the fight?
Oh, yeah, okay.
What's your preference of the fight?
Okay, you're right. I didn't score it. Just looking at the fight live, I thought the fight was very, very neck and neck close. I think Shawn Porter, he won the majority of the first 6 rounds, and then I think Errol Spence kind of came on, and they kind of went back and forth, because it was such a dog fight in the second half. I think Errol landed a lot of good body shots. I think Shawn Porter, every time he would get hit, I think he'll hit back. So I thought it was a pretty neck and neck type of fight from what I can see. But then I know once he knocked him down, I knew, and I think everybody in the arena knew that was what did it right there. Everybody was nervous. I'm listening to you.
That's how I seen me and my kinfolk. We kind of we watch all the fights all the time, and we went over there when we watched it. When it first came on, before it came on, we were saying, man, Shawn a dog, Shawn a dog. He gonna come. He gonna bring it. But what Shawn shocked me was he out jabbed Earl. You get what I'm saying? When he out jabbed Earl, he was just all over the ring with it, which I think Earl tried to fight his fight, and he do that a lot. I believe he do that a lot, trying to switch it up a lot when he did it. But I think it wasn't working for him for, like you said, for the first 6 rounds. Or whatsoever. I thought some of them rounds was debatable, at least for the first 6, but I still had majority of them, Shawn winning the majority of them 6 rounds. But after that, it kind of just came as a real dog fight. They was just making it out of a phone booth or whatsoever. But when he did the knockdown, I jumped up and said, "Yeah, that's it." He won the fight right there. That's it. He won the fight right there. When his glove touched the canvas, I was like, yeah, you messed up now.
Yeah.
So, but it was don't get it twisted. I'm not taking nothing from Earl or whatsoever. I promise. Earl is one of my favorites, and which is Porter. Not Porter, but Crawford, one of my favorites too. I just don't like the fans. It's kind of bash one another. It's like they picking sides or whatsoever. Which you gotta have a favorite fighter. I just don't like the hating with it. You get what I'm saying?
I understand.
Spence more. I pick Spence more. I just don't like the hating. I ain't with all the hating. I ain't into that. I ain't that type of nigga. So, but like I said, it was a great fight. I seen when he said about the strength and conditioning part. It shows in there because he wasn't strong as he was. He looked as strong. Don't get it twisted, but he wasn't strong as he was. And like he said, he just really didn't expect Porter to come like that. He expected him to come like that, but not fully prepared as he did. But I don't, like I said, I don't believe in more victories or whatsoever. But he did do a great job. He should be. He should get another fight after this. A great, damn good fight because it's still more fights out here at the same time. And another time, like I said about the hating part, the Crawford and Spence part, I don't like that. I think they should not just Crawford should fight Earl. I think Crawford should fight all the elite welterweights right now. You still got Thurman. You still got Garcia. You still got Porter. It's still other motherfuckers that you still can fight. You get what I'm saying? Without Earl, you ain't just gotta just pick Earl. That fight gonna come if it come, but it's gonna come, like you said. So whatever, man. I just think we should put Crawford actually in the mix somewhere, not as far as just focus on Earl. I think all of them kind of dead even. I really do. I think all of them kind of dead even. I think Earl and Crawford is more better than some people, but I think all of them kind of dead even. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you, family. Yep. So I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. But that's all I got to say on that. I just wanted to get your assessment on it and see what you think of it.
Hey, I appreciate your call, fam. I'm gonna get on to this next caller real quick, and we'll be here tomorrow too.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. 716. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure because I'm like looking at it on the other. I was looking at it on the stream. I thought the other caller was still talking. But hey, man, what's up? Get him, Mike.
Hey, what's happening with you, fam? What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was. I was happy I bought it. I watched it with my uncle. It was a great night of fights overall. Like all the fights were dope for the most part. So yeah, it was a good fight. But yeah, the Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter, that was amazing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. You know, and even me, I should have put more respect on Shawn. So I admit that. But I'm not one of these people that was like hating on Shawn. But I don't know. It's it's just one of those things. Maybe you're caught in a moment, but I never. He showed he looked good that fight though. It was a great fight. Man, it was like tit for tat. It was going back and forth. I like that. They really brought the house down with the main event. But when I saw, I jumped out of my seat when I saw Earl knock him down because I was like, whoa, okay. I think he might have took the fight. So. Yeah, but it was a great night of fights. I really respect Porter more than ever now, though. I won't ever say nothing. And not that I was ever on there, like some people be, with these, going back and forth saying this person sucks and all that. But I'm not one of them people. But it was a good night of fights, man. I don't know, Earl. He did his thing. It was like I said, it was a good fight. I didn't know how it was gonna go at first because I had it pretty close, but Earl edged it out with that knockdown though. So,
right.
Yeah, it was good. I was happy I got it. I was on the edge of my seat. So, yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's finally nice talking to you. Yeah, you have a great one.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate your call, brother.
Peace.
Yeah, man. So, definitely a good fight. When it comes down to, the whole Terrence Crawford situation, okay? I did a small poll on a community tab once again because I did the same exact poll before where I was wondering who do everybody believe was gonna win. If Errol Spence can get in the ring with Crawford, who wins that fight? How? 74% says Errol Spence Jr. wins that fight. And so even with this victory, where a lot of people thought that it was a lot of vulnerability being showed from Errol Spence, a lot of people still believe that Errol Spence wins that fight. I'm not necessarily sure who I'm picking, but I definitely know it'll be definitely a different fight from the Shawn Porter fight. Styles make fights. You got to look at every part of it. And I think I want to see Crawford and Porter fight too. But Stephen McCurdy says, "Get him, Mike. I think he needs Blu-ray back." Oh, my bad. 8716, call back in. I made a mistake and hit the button on my laptop. My fault. But yeah, he says he think he needs Blu-ray back. 12-0 stoppage now. 2 fights going 12 rounds. Not a great look. I'm not necessarily sure if it's just. I'm not ready to just say it's just Blu-ray. I know a lot of people believes he needs Blu-ray back. I'm pretty sure that would help. But I don't really think it was necessarily just I don't think that was necessarily just a strength and conditioning issue. 704, what's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up? This Kane calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey, what's happening with you, family?
Man, that fight was crazy.
Hell yeah.
What do you think Errol Spence? Because when I watched the fight, I asked myself, when it started, the way it started off when Earl was boxing before they became, toe to toe. Do you think why did Errol Spence choose to go tit for tat to try to outdo Shawn Porter? Because I feel Shawn Porter's bread and butter is the inside and keep it raw.
I'm not sure if I totally agree with that, bro. Because I think, to be honest with you, bro, I think when the fight first started, I think Shawn's most success was coming from when he was boxing and he was striking. I think Errol Spence did good once it became a Mexican style fight. because he was able to land good body shots. I know he hit him low a lot too. But I think Errol Spence in the close quarters, I think that's where he survived at. Because I think early in the fight, Shawn Porter, his foot speed and hand speed was what was giving Spence problems. He was jumping in and hitting Spence with everything, and Spence was like, "Man, we got to take it inside." You don't think so?
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch the fight again because I don't know. It was just crazy. I was just watching. I was like, wow, these dudes getting touched up, crazy. Like Spence's, both of them defenses wasn't like the best. It wasn't like nothing like Floyd. Like anytime I watch boxing, because I don't think about like Floyd Mayweather's defense. Canelo has great defense. You know, he slips punches and stuff. Man, these two guys was just touching each other. Like every time they threw a punch, they was getting hit. I don't know. I was like looking for counters and stuff. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah,
I give a lot of respect and all the credit to Shawn. Like he showed that he's up there. He's one of the top welterweights, definitely.
All right. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, okay? We know this fight showed some vulnerabilities from Errol Spence. One of the things I think, and not only just me, but I feel like a lot of other people, like analysts, kind of said this a little bit. But I think when it comes down to Errol Spence, I feel like the fighters that give Errol Spence problems are the ones with the fast hands and fast feet. Okay? Mm-hmm. The ones that can strike and come in and jump in from different angles and hit them different ways, I think those are the ones that give him problems. But when it comes down to Porter, I think Porter lost the fight once it got like really, really rough on the inside. I think that's when he started to lose the fight. Because
he stopped moving his head. He just stayed like his head was in one spot.
Right.
So Errol like lined him up with this he lined him up with his let me see, he's southpaw. So whichever hand he lined him up with, and then he knocked him out with the hook because Shawn's head, he stopped moving his head. So the second he stopped moving his head, Errol lined him up, and then it was right on the chin, flush. He was but he popped right back up, and he was let's go. So I don't know.
Yeah, so I think the majority of Shawn's success in this fight versus Errol was his foot speed and his hand speed. The fact that every time they would lock up, he would spin around on Errol and then start to work. But see, this is the thing. Shawn Porter knew he trained very hard for this fight. He knew he was in good shape for this fight. Mr. De Niro, I see you, family. Renee Box Young, I see you too. But because he knew how in shape he was, you can tell he was trying to show how strong and how he can compete with Errol on the strength level. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he was definitely competing. He was definitely doing that, yeah.
But I think because of that made his energy bar go down. Because I felt like Shawn was at his best when he was moving his feet, moving his hands, and he was just, he was hitting Errol every chance he get. But once they started that locking up stuff and pushing and that stuff take your energy down. And I think that's when Errol was at his best. Because Errol gets better in the second half of the fight. Always.
Yeah, he come on strong. You right. Yeah, Kell Brook too, and you right when you said Shawn was doing better boxing. Errol, Kell Brook too, like with his speed, and that's why he was outboxing Spence when they were fighting, and before it got rough for Kell, and Kell's face was didn't hold up or whatever, and it took a toll on him. So therefore, like he couldn't see or whatever, and Spence was was getting off. But yeah, Kell Brook was outboxing Errol. Shawn was doing the same. You're right. So yes, Errol Spence has a problem with speed. Seeing this fight, I can't really compare Crawford in the welterweight division because he hasn't fought like a credible guy. Like Amir Khan's not credible. Jeff Horn is not credible. Because I feel like Jeff Horn he's like, his boxing skills not that good, and his roughing up, like, I don't know, he got stopped by Crawford, but like, and when he's fighting Pacquiao, I feel like Pacquiao, he just went like crazy with Pacquiao, but Crawford was able to negate that though. He wasn't allowing Horn to to rough him up like Pacquiao got roughed up by Jeff Horn. So I don't know. I want to see. Cause Shawn, he's up there. I feel like if Shawn were to fight Terrence Crawford, man, I think he'll give him a run for his money for sure. Cause Shawn's a big guy. He's a big guy and he's in shape. So he may weigh comfortably. Well, I don't know who's so comfortably, but he made it 147, and the man was ready.
Yeah, man, I hear what you're saying, man. Hey, but I'm gonna let some more people call in. I appreciate your call, brother.
Okay.
Great call, man.
All right.
We'll be back on the bar if you want to call back in or later today too.
All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
Thank
you. Yep. Yeah, man. Good call. So 561-935-5186. Feel free to call in. I think another thing too, when it comes down to Terrence Crawford, Crawford, a lot of people say he hasn't done a lot. I get it. But I think accomplishments-wise, I think he has. I think the eye test, skill-wise, he has. He's won multiple different belts at multiple different divisions. He won a belt at 147, and he defended it already, I think, twice. Okay, so in all of that short amount of time, Crawford has been moving and doing things and succeeding in other areas. And also with the eye test, he's been looking impressive, man, in the way he does his thing. He showed that he got great boxing skill, lateral movement. He showed that he can stay in there and beat guys up. He's shown that he can beat up the bigger fighters when he move up in weight. Terrence Crawford has continually showed. I know he hasn't fought a lot of the PBC fighters, and I'm hoping he will. But it kind of seems almost like, Terrence Crawford is not necessarily going to have to go through the amount of toughness that Errol Spence is going to have to go through here at the PBC. So, all right, I think I know who this is. Hold on, I think I got to... Hey, 305, call back in. Call back in, 305. My bad. I think I know who that is. Somehow my Skype got closed down. But yeah, man, I think Terrence Crawford is gonna have a much easier road, to this undisputed fight than Errol Spence is. Errol Spence has said that he wants to go through and get up all the belts before he fight Crawford. And Crawford, if Crawford's gonna keep fighting, people that we don't really know of, it's gonna be a much easier route for him, and he can just pretty much hold on to that one belt and then meet Errol Spence for that unification undisputed fight. So I don't know, man. He says that's why I think Bud ought to fight Porter before Spence. Yeah, because a lot of people feels like that. A lot of people feel like they want to see Terrence Crawford fight some of the guys over with the PBC, or fight some of the guys that 832. Call on the line. What's your name? Where you from?
Hey, you know who this is, man. Quick break.
Yes, sir. What's going on, my brother?
I gotta just eat some crow. I had some A1 steak sauce and Tabasco. Tastes all right. And that Porter head came to fight, boy. I ain't gonna take nothing from him. Don't say nothing at all.
He said,
I was kind of mad at Earl. That's why I ain't say nothing to nobody all day yesterday. I had to sit to myself for a minute. That fight ain't go nowhere like I thought it was gonna go.
So how did you see it happening, and what happened, man? Talk to me, Mr. De Niro.
I called it within 7 rounds, man. I thought it was gonna be over, but Earl didn't even look like Earl at the weigh-ins, man. I kind of looked like, all right, we gonna ride with him, but he looked kind of skinny. It wasn't Earl, dog. That wasn't Earl. It wasn't Earl, man.
it's funny because I actually think Errol looked a whole lot skinnier versus Mikey than he did in this fight. I thought he looked a little better this time.
Nah, he
What you
looked
think?
skinny this fight to me. I thought he looked skinny. It didn't look like Errol, man. He looked small. I was like, you know, he had that kind of football player build to him in his other fights, but in this fight, he looked skinny. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that kind of had me aggravated a little bit. Like something wasn't right.
Yeah. Many people believe it to be the strength and conditioning situation where he keeps coming out and saying that he didn't do any. But I'm not necessarily sure.
He better start doing it again. He needs to start doing it again ASAP. I don't like this Errol that's doing no strength and conditioning. I don't like that Errol, man. I want them 11 knockouts in a row. That's 2 in a row that he didn't win the distance.
Do you think it
That
could be
ain't the
possibly?
Errol I was talking trash about. I was talking trash in the ball, boy. It was finna go down. Shawn was supposed to go to sleep because I was betting money. I almost lost money, man. I almost lost all my money.
Yeah, I feel you.
When they say split decision, down my heart dropped.
Damn. Yeah, man. So, what I was about to say, I done lost my train of thought. So do you think it could possibly be that it's getting to a point now where it's getting harder for Errol to make the weight, where he can't put on as much muscle no more?
Nah, I really don't. I think it has to do with something with him getting people to want to fight him, so he did something different.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point there, but
he did something different because ain't nobody want to fight him. But go back to the other Errol. We'll just take nobody wanting to fight him. I like that Errol better.
could it be the step up in competition, man?
We'll see when he step up.
Yeah,
we'll see when he step up. Shawn Porter, I ain't taking nothing from him. No, he got a chin and he came to fight. I was sitting there, hush mouth. I was talking all the trash before the fight started. I ain't had nothing to say for the rest of the fight. I sat there drinking. I messed around and got drunk. Had to Uber home. I was taking extra shots.
That man was drinking his problems away in that bed. Hey, man, but, you know, inside the arena too, Mr. De Niro, man, you wasn't the only one quiet, bro. A lot of people in that thing was worried, man. I had a girl behind me. Obviously, she was there because, Errol is what's popping right now. She probably liked the man or whatever, but you can tell that she was bothered. Like, every time Errol do something good, she like, yeah, get him, Errol. But for the remainder, like, a lot of times, she was back there, like, nervous, bro, like, rocking back and forth. Like,
back there quiet, like, damn.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm explaining to people now. He normally don't fight like that. I don't know what's going on. I'm explaining to people, man. I had been talking all this trash before the fight started. I'm the only one that was kind of hyped in there because I was ready. I've been looking forward to this fight. But Porter brought it, dog. He did, man. I believe he might be. He can beat Crawford.
You think so?
That's why. Bud say he ain't got no interest on fighting him because he already know Porter gonna bring it to him.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. That's just wishful thinking. I'm just talking out loud, thinking out loud.
Right.
Because I'm on this vodka and Simply lemonade tonight.
Yeah, man, I'm right with you, my family. But shoot, man, I'm gonna hang around, answer some more of the family calls, man. Sit tight, man. If you want to call back in later, you can call back in too, family.
That's what's up. I'm a holler.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So, I almost wished, it was to the point where, Shawn Porter didn't lose, any other fights. I kind of wish he would have beat got the nod over Thurman. And I mean, I know the Brook fight, I see he lost, but that's just what happens when in boxing, when you fight everybody. When you fight the names, you fight everybody they put in front of you, you gonna come up short sometime. And I think a lot of the boxing fans, as far as the casuals go, a lot of times they see that the person got a loss and they think that this person ain't good, or the person might have a close fight and they think, oh, this person ain't good. But it's just like when you growing up, you got. 523. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What is up, Big Jam? This is Renee Box Young coming from Mexico.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Mexico, man. Hey, Renee Box Young, I got this new sound effect I'm about to start using, man. This right here.
Oh, all right.
So that's that. That's that. Cut them off if they go too long. But go ahead, man. You got about 5 minutes. Do your thing, my brother.
Awesome. Yeah, let me just do it quick, man. Amazing fight. My hats off definitely goes to Porter and to Spence. Amazing war. I loved it. The whole fight night, right? We enjoyed against Benavidez, against Anthony Durrell. Awesome. I just want to talk about just real quick, and I'm going to be off in a minute. I'm going to eat some dinner.
Yeah, do your thing, family.
I got to get this off my chest. This is a couple months ago. I pushed some content, and I just did today also, concerning, what I think a caller just mentioned it a moment ago. I think you did also.
A matter of fact, I just saw on Twitter a moment ago from a source that mentioned, don't mark my words, this is just a rumor, I guess, so far, that Porter is saying that if he doesn't get the rematch with Spence, he's going to want to fight Bud. I don't know if that's true, but I hope it is, because I have been saying for months, man, that Bud should fight Porter before Spence. One main fact is for this. I mean, there are a few factors, but, like you said a moment ago, Jem, that, Bud Crawford, amazing in the other divisions. He's climbed up the ladder into welterweight. I just personally believe, man, that as of yet, he's not considered a top elite welterweight, right? Because we still have, we got Spence number one. It can be debatable, what have you, but this is just how I see it. Spence number one in the welterweight division. Number two, Porter, and the list goes on and on, right? We could say Pacquiao, maybe Pacquiao's 2, 1, 3, whatever, right? But we got Pacquiao, we got Pacquiao, we got Thurman, we got Danny Garcia. There's a list. And Bud hasn't faced any of them yet. That's what I'm kind of mind-boggled in all this. A lot of people are screaming, which is cool. I respect it, definitely. And it's going to be a great fight when that fight comes, when Bud fights Spence. I say when, not if. When Bud fights Spence, that's going to be an amazing fight. But I'm just not satisfied until I see, Bud fight a real elite, welterweight like Porter. Recently he had an interview. Bud had an interview with Fight Hype, and he said that he doesn't have the ambition. I just pushed a video today talking about it. He doesn't have the ambition of fighting Porter because they're friends and they go way back. I think that's a lame excuse, man. All due respect to the champ, but you know what I mean? I think the world would love to see, before a Spence Bud, they would love to see a Bud Porter. I just want to conclude. Thank you so much, Jem. I love talking. I love listening to you. I love calling in. Thank you so much, brother, for the time. I'm going to eat some dinner, man. Peace.
Renee Box Young, appreciate your call, family. Much love to you.
Peace, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, so you definitely, that's something to think about. The fact that, Terrence Crawford is over with Top Rank. He's not necessarily getting, let's just say, the top names, the Danny Garcias, the Pacquiaos, the Shawn Porters of the world, all of these names, even Ugas and all of the other welterweights. There's so many different names. I guess you could make the argument as well that, Errol Spence has been with the PBC as well. He hasn't necessarily been getting all the fights either. It kind of took him a while to even get the Porter fight. But, there's 305. 305, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up, my boy?
Yes, sir. Who's calling?
It's Ernest. They call me EJ, but I done changed my name over there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's happening, family? I know who you is. Go ahead, do your thing.
Ain't not much, man. I'm at work, man. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet.
Hell yeah.
I hear a lot of things out here, man. I'm a big fan of Spence, but I'm gonna just keep it. Get a man Porter his props. He brought his ass, man. He brought his lunch box. That man came to fight. I don't know what Spence thought that shit was gonna be, but hey, I think Spence won the fight. But Porter brought his ass, man. Straight up. Porter put it on his ass. It is what it is. All this Blu-ray and he looked like this, look like that, man. Look, he looked like somebody next to him named Shawn Porter was a real goddamn pit bull out there. And it is what it is. And look, that's how I look at it. I'm not with that excuses. Kind of reminded me of they were saying the Triple G fought Dan Jacob. Dan Jacob was
20 pounds heavier. That's why he looked that good. Man, look here, man. Shawn Porter came to fight, dog. That's all it is. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, he definitely did come to fight, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. So, but like I said, I'm gonna keep short of man. But one question I want to ask you, man. Anybody don't want to go through that, man. Who gonna want to get in the ring with Porter after that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to get some fights, man.
Thurman not finna fight him. Dan Garcia not finna fight him again.
It's funny too. It's funny too. Like, I think he's gonna try to push for that Thurman rematch, if anything. What you think?
He could push it, but I don't think Thurman gonna want to take. Cause man, that's 12 rounds of pure hell you're gonna pretty much go through, man.
Yeah.
I mean, all that Porter. I told people Porter is somebody that you fight when you absolutely have to fight. The fight Spence again, I think he's gonna have to find a way to get a Manny Pacquiao fight, which I don't see happening. Get that belt, then Spence to fight him again, because he has to fight him again because he got a belt. Otherwise, I don't see it happening again.
Yeah. It's not.
Respect to you, man, because you did call it. This kind of how it was. I didn't see it happening like that, but respect to you because you called it pretty much to the teeth.
Yes, sir.
And that's that.
Hey, I appreciate you, Ernest Jones, man. Much love, peace, and blessings. You always support me, man. I got love for that.
All day.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, man. You know, Shawn Porter, he definitely fought his ass off. That's for sure. You know, as much as I wanted him to win this fight just for other purposes, you know, he came up short. You know, and it ain't no shame in that. You know, sometimes we lose. That's what happened. 904. What's your name? Where you from?
Yeah, man, it's Daddy P, man. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
I used to have a channel, man, about a year or so ago. But yeah, I subscribed to your channel probably about a couple months, man. I like your style, man. I like and it seems like you know what you're talking about. But anyway, man, it's a lot of people that I guess that took this fight lightly. I'm gonna go back on my channel, man, and I'm like 42 years old. Man. I ain't up on a lot of this technology. I just got an iPhone not too long ago, and I don't even know how to get on your chat with it. For some reason, I don't know why. On my Android, I used to get on the live chats all the time. Yeah. But anyway, I wish I could pull up a link to one of the videos I made. This is about almost a year ago, talking about the welterweights and you know, when Terrence Crawford entered the division. And I've been saying that Shawn Porter, a lot of people been wrote Shawn Porter off because you remember when Spence started rising, a lot of people were saying everybody scared to fight him, and they were saying how Shawn Porter, you know, lost the IBF to Kell Brooks and that he should fight Spence. But Shawn Porter was, you know, he was trying to climb the rankings with WBC. A lot of people don't understand a lot of these rankings. You know, a lot of, you know, people don't consider themselves casual, but they don't understand how the rankings and stuff go. But Shawn Porter, he wanted to climb the WBC, so that's why he started fighting on that track, and he didn't want to fight. So a lot of people saying, oh, nah, he don't want to fight Spence. And I've been saying, man, Shawn Porter he will give any welterweight hell, any welterweight. And I said it, this was almost a year ago, I say, man, he'll give Errol Spence hell. I've been saying this, man. And people look at Shawn Porter, you know, because people are not a fan of his style. But, man, Shawn Porter he has made his mark in the welterweight division. And, you know, I think it's a lot. He's an athlete anyway. You know what I'm saying? He played football in high school. And he does have a skill. A lot of people don't look at him as being skillful, but because of his height, he has to improvise for, you know, in the division because he's shorter for the division. but he does have some skill. And what he does in there with his footwork is, is very awkward for fighters. And people probably don't realize it until they get in the ring with him. I don't think Errol Spence realized until he actually got in the ring with him what Shawn Porter was special at doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, I know what you're saying, totally.
And a lot of people don't look at it and say, man, he's just wild. I mean, it may look like that because he's real awkward. He make a lot of improvisation. But Errol Spence, and I think why a lot of people are so disappointed because everybody was saying how Errol Spence, he gonna knock him out. Because Errol Spence, he said he was gonna knock him out.
Right.
And Errol Spence, usually he get the knockout when he say he gonna get the knockout. But this is the thing, and I think you touched on it a couple calls ago, and I don't know if the young man understood what you were saying, but a step up in competition, I believe, is the thing. And I know a lot of people probably say, well, step up in competition, but when he fought Garcia, he's saying, Garcia jumped up in weight. But Garcia been fighting since he probably learned how to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Garcia been in the gym since a baby. His brother was a fighter, his daddy trained. So you talking about a guy with an IQ in the ring that's different than a lot of fighters, even though he jumped up in weight. But the level of competition, now, when he fought Peterson is an ex-champ. His IQ is there, but Peterson really, to me, he never was like a 47 guy. You know what I'm saying? In the lower weights, Peterson, I think he had his day back then, but stepping up to fighting in 47, I don't think Peterson. So he knocked Peterson out, and Peterson, to me, it kind of shocked one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the step up in the level of competition, people, I don't think gave Shawn Porter enough credit as an elite welterweight, as a standout welterweight. And that's why everybody's so surprised at what happened. And people saying, it ain't look good, Errol Spence. No, Shawn Porter made Errol Spence fight his fight. And the reason why I say that is because Errol Spence, he makes adjustments. And I do give him credit. He's special. He does know how to make adjustments. But I think on the spot, being that Shawn Porter, he's an overwhelming guy, man. Errol Spence, I think he kind of had trouble making adjustments, so he had to just go to being a dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I guess he felt like that was his fight.
Exactly.
And I think he could have made some other adjustments, but on the fly he did what he felt was right for the fight. And the strength and conditioning thing, I think probably could have been a factor as well. As he did make admissions about, blowing up a little bit. And then also, when you do that, you have to, your mind is more on making the weight than doing a lot of other stuff that you could be doing to prepare for a fight. And I think that may have some, have a little something to do with his output as well. But what Spence needs to realize, man, look, from now on, and I heard a lot of people say it, from now on, these guys coming at your neck, bro. And you fighting at a different level. You know what I'm saying? When you were knocking out Algeria, all them guys, it's levels in this, man.
My bad, brother. I had to get on to the next caller, man. Call back in a little bit later. You made some excellent points. One hell of a call. 334. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, man, it's Cleveland out of Fort Worth, Texas, out here in the DFW.
Hey, what's going on, man? I just got from Texas just like a couple hours ago, man. What's going on with you?
Hey, man. I really think people are looking at this fight wrong. A lot of people are looking at Earl as if like Shawn Porter got the best of him. But if you go back to the Mikey Garcia fight, what was everybody saying? oh, Mikey can outbox him. Mikey. So what did he do when he fought Mikey Garcia? He outboxed Mikey Garcia. So what was everybody saying, like, what could be the potential way that he can beat Errol Spence? Oh, he's going to bully him around. That's the only way Shawn Porter can win. So what is Errol Spence going to do in the fight? He goes in there and fights the same exact way that Shawn Porter fights, which is coming forward, hitting you head to head, shoulder to shoulder, punch for punch. And at the end of the day, I mean, we got to say Errol got that.
Hey, I agree with you 100%. I think that the main thing what it was that a lot of people they wasn't necessarily sure. They didn't think Shawn Porter was a good fighter. A lot of people. I'm pretty sure you knew he was. But what my thing is when Errol Spence was fighting at first, you know, before he started coming forward and fighting Shawn Porter style, I think that's when Shawn Porter was doing his best, when he was controlling everything. He was, you know, jumping in with those couple of jabs. He was going to the body. Once Errol Spence realized, like, yo, I gotta get on the inside. I gotta really fight that Mexican style if I'm gonna hit him and hurt him.
Yeah.
And I think when he did that, that's when the adjustment that made the fight change. But go ahead, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, that was another. I just think, like, I don't know. I was listening a while back, and Kenny Porter, Shawn Porter's father, had said it was one match where he was fighting and Kenny had said something to him and Errol said, he got to respect me. And I just think it's just like, as people keep on like sort of knocking him down, oh, he's not going to be able to fight this person because of this, or you keep on doubting him. Every time we doubt Spence, he's going to box that same exact way that you say he cannot box, or he can't fight, or he can't brawl, or he can't stand toe-to-toe with guys. He's going to box that same exact way. Even if you listen to his trainer, Derrick James. Derrick James said, I go off this game plan. Whatever you want to do, we're going to box that. So I don't think it was a mistake. And I think we was really able to see Shawn Porter because that was the first time somebody ever pushed back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you make excellent points, bro. I agree.
But yeah, so I think that's why we've seen like that. And only reason I really like Shawn Porter is because like throughout the fight I've been watching, you know, his ring drills and stuff like that. And I don't know if you noticed, but Shawn Porter was doing a lot of that shifting, like when they get tight and he might get against the ropes and he'll swing Errol around.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of that.
That was in the game plan, and I seen his dad was at his head about like, hey, like don't back down when you get into these little corners like that. Yeah. Don't back down when you get punched a few times.
Yep, that's exactly right. So they had a pretty decent. They had a pretty decent game plan. It just they came up short because Errol he dug deep.
Yeah, I got a question. Do you think if like he wouldn't have touched that canvas, do you think it would have been a draw out, or you think it would have went a different way?
I can't necessarily say as far as what the judges would have did because they say I'm hearing that the commentators was kind of a little bit biased towards Spence, which I feel like they should be because that's the guy that everybody's pushing. But I actually had it a draw. If he wouldn't have got knocked down, I would have had it a draw.
Yeah.
Once that glove touched the canvas, I knew it was over.
I also think if he would have got knocked down in earlier rounds, I believe he could also, if like say he got knocked down in earlier rounds, like round 3, but he stayed fighting like he was fighting, and then he like sort of picked up a few more rounds, like he probably could either got it or drawed it out at that point as well. Like I just think it was so late in the round, and it's just been going back and forth.
Right.
Earl get around, Shawn get around. Earl get around, Shawn get around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was not one round where it was like, all right, well Shawn got all these rounds. Shawn got 3 rounds, or Earl got, 2 rounds. Like it was so up and down, and it was, balance is the best word you can say.
Right. Yep,
yeah,
I agree.
It was an amazing fight. I just, wish Dallas could have pulled it out yesterday with that Errol Spence win to get a Dallas win. That would have been excellent, but.
Yeah, man. I appreciate your call, man. Good call, very good call. You got some good stuff.
All right, brother. You have a good evening, man.
Yes, sir. You too. Yep. So at the end of the day, man, the shit was just incredible, bro. Like the way these brothers brought the fight was dope. You know, I couldn't ask for a better fight. 602, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, it's your boy South Phoenix Rising, man. What it do?
There you go. I knew he was coming at some point. What's happening, family?
Yeah, I was having the internet problems on the other house. Anywho, man, I want to kind of piggyback on what your last caller said, man. I honestly think that he made a lot of valid points. And first of all, like I say, you cannot look at the fight from a casual perspective.
What you had been saying about Shawn all along, we all know Shawn is one of the top welterweights in the world, man. He's game. He's damn good. A lot of people don't appreciate his boxing style, but on Shawn Porter's day, with the awkwardness, and look, man, when I had put on the thread earlier about how big he was, that was a compliment. A guy that size who can shrink down to 147 and then blow back up to 160. I honestly think he's close to 165. He gonna give anybody hell. So ultimately, you saw probably the best Shawn Porter that you saw, and I'm gonna be real, all that swimming and stuff he was doing in his workouts the last 6 to 9 months getting ready for Earl, that helped him. That's why he didn't get starched in the 11th. But I still think people looking at the fight wrong, man. I mean, people are trying to make it seem like Earl got exposed. Earl didn't get exposed. Earl's pride, in my opinion, I'm gonna be candid with you. There's a couple issues I have with kind of what's going on with Earl's camps right now in terms of him maturing from a young fighter to an elite welterweight and being a man. First and foremost, you talked about the strength and conditioning. It's not the strength and the conditioning. Earl works out all year long. It's the nutrition. Earl thinks that now that he's 29, getting ready to turn 30, he can still eat like he was when he was 19 and 20. You can't. He has to change his nutrition, man. He has to get himself a nutritionist, make sure that he's putting the right things in his body, the lean meat, the lean protein. As we talked before, I coach track. You got to look, man, that stuff is year-round. You can't all of a sudden 3-4 months before a fight think, okay, I'm going to start eating right and expect your body to react the same. It takes your body a while to adjust. And that's what's killing him right now. He said it hurt him in the Mikey Garcia fight because he overate. It's hurting him right now because he likes to eat. He likes food. And the other issue I have, man, I was watching an interview that the Porters had earlier today where they were talking about what they saw against Earl that would give them a chance. It wasn't a skill. It wasn't Shawn spinning him in the corner because if you really watch the fight, Earl would just spin him back. It was his pride. They said they knew that ultimately they could talk Spence into a dog fight. All they had to do was question his manhood, and Earl, because he's such a dog, he's gonna want to show you he's a dog, and that's what you saw. He let them talk him into a dog fight. And I'm gonna be candid with you, a dog fight he won. Earl feels that he needs to prove people wrong, but the issue I have with that, Floyd used to do that shit from time to time. Look, man, just be yourself. Do what got you there. Follow the game plan. You're an excellent boxer. Use the combination of both and get these cats out of here, man. But I also want to digress because I don't want to make this all about Earl. Again, I think folks have been sleeping on Shawn. I told you I'm a fan of boxers. Shawn is a damn good welterweight. We've had this conversation, you and I, for like the last 2 weeks. I think a lot of people were sleeping on him. I expected Shawn to come to fight. But I will say this, with proper nutrition, that left hook he landed in the left round, he would have got stretched, bro. He should have got stretched with that left hook.
He said he would have got stretched with that thing.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. My heart dropped to my ass when he got hit with that left hook, bro. I couldn't believe it. I jumped out my seat and turned around and looked at my wife and put my hands on my head like, bro, I couldn't believe it, bro. I was scared for Shawn because it looked like his neck. It looked like his neck twisted. Like he looked like.
Jim, listen to me, Playboy. His eyes rolled behind his head. How the hell he didn't drop? That lets you know what shape that fool was in. Bruh. Like that, all that strength and conditioning, dog. Like that's why they did it, because they knew that was coming. You gotta tip your hat to them cats, dog. Because if it was not for that camp, his ass would have got stretched. You know?
Hey, Shawn Porter died for like 0.3 seconds, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Scared
and he
the hell
didn't
out
even
of
touch
me.
the canvas though. I mean, I'm talking about his hand touched the canvas, but he didn't fall out.
Yeah, he didn't even fall down. I was like, oh.
Yeah, man. But like I say, again, I think folks need to educate themselves a little bit more on boxing, just to kind of. I know you're finna hit me with the ninja nunchuck sound, but I'm just gonna make this point real quick. I told y'all earlier how the fight was gonna play out. It came down to accuracy. Earl lands at 49%. He landed at 44% in this fight. Shawn lands at 28%. He landed at 24% in this fight. At the end of the day, the tail of the tape was what it was. Earl was the more accurate, and he was also the more power puncher. And guess what? For all y'all out there saying how much Shawn throws, Earl outthrew him. Holla at me, my man. I'm going to holla at you tomorrow, and I'll be watching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Blessings,
yes, sir.
blessings.
Peace.
Oh man, he punched Shawn so hard, man, it scared the life out of me for a second. Boy, I was like, oh Lord. Hey, it was this brother sitting next to us in the arena, man. That dude, he was going so hard for Porter, bro. He made me feel like I wasn't a Porter fan. How hard he was going. 419, where you calling from? What's your name?
Yeah, I can't tell age. She's home Toledo.
Yeah, man. What's happening?
Hey, yeah. Hey, I know you were at the fighting on. Hey, man, that's a forever memory fight right there. You're gonna remember that one. You know. Hey, but I was calling to get my points on the fight. You know, put my point of view on that. Hey, man. Porter shined, didn't he?
Yeah, he did really good. He did really good.
Hey, and it was a scrap, man. It was a fight, and I had Porter on the points. You know that knockdown that they call it a knockdown.
Yeah.
You know that was a 2-point round. But man, that helped Spence. But man, that didn't win it on the points.
Oh, okay. So you telling me when you scored it, you even with the knockdown, you think you still had Porter winning this fight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard some people say that.
Hey, just how the fight went. You know, I only seen it one time. I didn't go back and watch it.
Yeah.
But just how the fight went in the 10th, I said, man, he's got KO Porter.
Yeah.
But hey, it was a good fight. Hey, you can't change the past. But my question was about the future. Hey, man, hey, when Mikey moved up, to fight, Spence a little bit ago. I said it back then. I said, man, the other ones, Thurman, Crawford, Spence, that's got to wake these guys up, man. We're going to see who the best in the division is now because they're not going to have this, Mikey come up and, try to put a spot on him. And, man, still waiting. I just wanted to know what your thoughts are of after the fight, Spence not calling out Bud. Then I'll let you go on that, Jim.
Yeah, I
just wanted to hear what you had to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I believe he didn't really call out, Crawford, one, because Danny Garcia jumped up in the ring ASAP, and I pretty much think they know the course of playing for Errol Spence. They know the course that they're gonna push him, and I don't think Terrence Crawford is nowhere on the horizon at this point. So it was not even no need to say his name because the fight is not happening. They put little clues. They put little clues out there as to who's gonna fight next, and if Errol doesn't fight Danny next, he's gonna fight him probably right after the next fight. So it's gonna be a while before we get Spence Crawford. That's for sure.
Yeah, but if you want, man, you can make the fight.
Yeah.
But if you want that to say, hey, I'm the best, it's gonna take, I guess it's gonna take more fights to get the real fight. You know what I'm saying? But if he would have called it out right there, man, that would have been cool as heck.
Yeah, you right. You're right about that for sure. Hey, I see South Phoenix Rising. Yeah, I seen that. He did say something about Bud in the post fight. I seen that. Like he didn't call him out in the ring because I think that's what Danny was there. But he says he eventually wants Crawford, but I just don't know how soon it's gonna be. It's gonna be.
Hey, Garcia's cool. He's good, but he ain't got no belt.
Nah, he don't.
I want to see the best on the best.
Yeah.
And it's been what now? What? Mikey, Porter, Garcia, might be Pat. Bud's out in the cold. And by the time, man, he might be 34, 35 years old before he gets his fight.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's got to happen, man. It's got to happen. But all right, Jim. Hey, heck yeah, you're going to remember that fight. That was a good fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
To be there, in person, I know that it must have been extra,
Yeah, I couldn't believe how good the fight was. Like, I knew it would be really good, but it was like being there live, bro, it was super dope.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. All right, hey, next time, Jim.
Yes, sir. Take it easy, my brother. I'll see you next time. Yeah, man. That was one hell of a fight. And he said, where was Bud? Garcia jumped in the ring. Where was Bud? On vacation. Closed mouths don't get fed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a whole lot of business stuff to go behind this. They know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't. You know, we can, as fans, we want to see certain fighters jump in the ring. We want to see certain things happen, but these guys, they don't control every single thing they do. You know, they just fighters. Even with the PBC, there's still an advisor that's advising them the best way to go. And you got to think about it, bro. If Al Heyman sits you down and say, look, man, if you go this route, if you take this path, I got this here for you, and you're going to pretty much make this much money on the dotted line. Or you can do what you want to do, and you can come over here, and you can probably make this much. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, well, I'm my own boss, and I can do what I want, but I'm going to take some good advice, you know what I'm saying? Because I still got to feed my family. And if you're going to eventually make me into a pay-per-view star, and I'm going to get X amount of $1 million, you know, throughout the next 5 fights that you got drawn out for me, you know, I mean, as much as I want to, you know, look like I'm big and tough and call everybody out, I got to kind of go with this plan. You know what I'm saying? So I got to go with the plan. And that's just, you know, that's just as real as it's going to get. 561-935-5186. We can get some more calls before we get up out of here, man. I'm hearing Mike Coppinger. Mike Coppinger is tweeted out. It says, if you can see it on the screen right here, Errol Spence and Shawn Porter generates over 300,000 buys. Errol Spence showed that he's the new pay-per-view king for the welterweight division with his unification fight against Shawn Porter, tracking over 300,000 pay-per-view buys on Fox Sports last Saturday. Spence-Porter expected to bring in 350,000 buys, according to Mike Coppinger. So it's looking like they say it's looking like it's closer to 350 buys, 1,000 buys, man, and that right there to me is a really good look. You know, it's a really good look, and I'm not in a position to just, you know, to just try to bash Crawford, you know, because I think a lot of people do that. You know, oh, you know, he's doing this much. What is Crawford doing? I'm not really in the me personally in a position to want to do that. But what I want to do is I want to applaud the fact that these two brothers got in the ring and they did this many pay-per-view buys. You know, that's something to be really you know, proud of, you know. And the sky's the limit from here, you know. And I know Errol Spence, you know, did the majority of the buys. I know a lot of people are gonna say it wasn't Porter, but you have to imagine, you know, all the drama and the stuff that Kenny Porter brought to this fight as well, man. I'm pretty sure that amped up the numbers. You know, the fact that, you know, Shawn Porter got up there and said, "When I cut you," and Kenny Porter is getting ready to fight Derek James, and you know, that could have been the thing right there to say, you know what, I'm buying this fight. You know, somebody could have been on the fence like, I don't know, you know, pay-per-view is kind of expensive. And then when them boys about to get to a fight at the weigh-in, and you just knew how hype it was, you know, you just never know, man. But it's just something to be applauded to me. I think it's a good look, you know, for the sport of boxing, that we getting these pay-per-views is really doing big numbers. So that means people is interested in the sport once again. And I think a lot of the boxing fans, the boxing media, like, you know, the new media, the YouTube channels, I think a lot of us did our part in helping getting the sport, you know, going again, because we love this sport. We want to see it. He says, get a mic. Is the Spence-Danny Garcia fight set for January 25th? I'm not sure yet. I'm going to look into that for you, though, bro. And if I see anything on it, I'll probably do a video about it. I still got to drop a lot of the videos that I did from LA. I still didn't drop. I got, like, some interviews and stuff and some other, you know, exclusive footage I'll probably drop later. And I got some more stuff to put out. So we're going to try and really, really get this thing popping and really get the channel booming again. Cleveland Lions. He says there was a lot of history in this fight. This was possibly two guys who were close and then later down the road had to fight each other. Yeah, I agree. I think there was more animosity between Kenny Porter and Derek James than there really was with Errol and Shawn. But I think Shawn Porter he really wanted to make a statement in this fight. You know, he really wanted this fight very, very bad. Just from all the stuff that was being said, people counting him out. They had this man, you know, the freaking crazy underdog numbers and shit. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me But you know, to me, it would have put the icing on the cake if Shawn Porter would have been victorious. But Errol Spence just proved that he's just too good. He's really good. Even when Errol Spence is not, you know, doing his best, because Errol Spence wasn't his best in his fight. A lot of that could be contributed to the fact that Shawn Porter is just really good. He just really brought it. And some of that can be contributed to the fact that, you know, Errol Spence might have been mentally underestimating Shawn and thinking, you know, I could just get in here and do it all. And see, that's one of the things he said, too. They asked him, I can't remember, I think it was on Inside PBC. They asked him, what are you going to do to get prepared for Shawn Porter? And he said, I'm going to do what I always do. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, bro, you haven't been in the ring with nobody like this before. This guy has never been knocked out. This guy has never completely been out of a fight. He's always working. He always brings the fight. So how are you going to say, I'm going to do what I always do? That showed me right there that he was just going to think he's going to come in here, put the pressure on guys, stick the jab, and then eventually he was thinking his body shots was going to get him out of there. But that's not always going to get everybody out of there. You know, at the top level in the sport of boxing, these guys ain't just getting knocked out no more, bro. They train too hard. It takes a lot to fight at this elite level. You don't just get there by just, you know, just being next up in line. Like, nah, bro, you got to earn it. And at this elite level, these guys, man, you know, they not easy anymore. And I think from this point forward, Errol Spence, he needs to quickly learn, because Shawn Porter, I think, taught him something in this fight. He learned so much in this fight through adversity. That first, I gotta eat right. I gotta stay in shape between fights. I can't be brown paper bagging and going late night to Taco Bell. I can't be going to McDonald's. No more Big Macs. I can't do all of that stuff. I gotta eat right. I gotta keep the calories down. I gotta make sure I'm jogging early morning. I gotta stay in the gym. You know, light workouts all year round. And he needs to really come into training camp already ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? And get in there and get ready to put in some skills work, not just some strength and losing weight type shit. I'm talking about put in some skills. Get your game plan right. Practice on what you're going to do versus your opponent. And I think that's where Errol Spence, you know, that's where things got a little sour, you know. Mentally, I don't care. I think he underestimated it mentally. Not so much physically, but mentally, he thought, I'm just going to come in here and I'm Errol Spence. His confidence was just, you know, too high. I'm Errol Spence. They love me. I'm just going to come in here. I knock dudes out. I'm real good. I know what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, you got to get prepared. And it's one of those things where what Errol Spence showed us in his fight, his ability to dig down deep when the going got tough, that just shows the boxing fans how much the kid got in him. But don't fail, you know, to be great because your confidence is so up high that you don't think you got to work. You don't think you got to keep in shape year round. That's kind of like Shaq in the NBA. Shaquille O'Neal could not be stopped. This dude was the most dominant force the sport has ever seen. Y'all smash the like button too for your boy Get a Mic. The most dominant force the sport has ever seen. But he thought, because I'm so dominant, I can just hang my head on my dominance. I don't have to work hard. I don't got to stay in shape. And Kobe was like, nah, man, this dude too lazy, dog. This dude don't want to work hard. Kobe said, I want to be the best. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ended up happening. But with Errol Spence, he got to make sure that he puts the talent together to go along with, you know, the grit and the dog that he has. You know? Curtis Anderson, I see you up in there, man. Much love to you, fam. Appreciate you coming through. John Creamer, I see you too. Yeah, man. So Errol Spence, I hope he learned something from this. He impressed me with how deep he dug down in this fight. Because I wasn't surprised at what Porter was going to bring. I wasn't. I knew Porter was coming, bro. I knew he was. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, Errol, man, you gotta, you know, calm down a little bit, you know, bring eat some of that humble pie for a second and realize that these guys can fight at the top level, you know. Terrence Crawford, he's another dog in the division. I know that fight gonna take a while, but Terrence Crawford, what if Terrence Crawford don't gas out in the championship rounds? You know, what if Terrence Crawford don't get hit with that left hook because he's too slick? You see what I'm saying? And then you start getting into a position where you really cutting it close to where you can probably lose. So Errol Spence, he said it, he tweeted it out. He got to get his weight down. He got to keep that weight down. Can't just eat what you want no more, bro. You know, I'm 29 years old. I'm Errol Spence's age, and I can tell you right now that when you start getting close to 30, bro, you don't feel the same you did when you first turned 20. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do the same stuff. You can't just eat what you want, boy. You're gonna be on the toilet for sure. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I know we still young. I know a lot of the old heads in here, you know, with the little bit of salt and pepper beard, probably looking at me like this young dude. But you knew when you first turned 30 that you couldn't eat what you could when you was 19, 20. But EJ Jones, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate your support, family. He says that dog is gonna be a big problem for anyone Errol fight. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. So I just want to see the dude be great, and I want to see him not shortchange himself. Don't cut himself short. Leave the alcohol alone, Errol. You're a fighter. Don't drink alcohol. You can do all that shit when you get, you know, once you retire. That alcohol ain't going nowhere. If you're gonna be a professional fighter and make millions, you got a lot, bro. You know how much people Errol Spence got counting on him to be successful. Errol Spence Jr. He's a great boxer and a great fighter, but in my opinion, he's getting to that point now where he's kind of like transcending just what he do in the ring. You got people really counting on this dude. You got people out here that really loves Errol Spence and looks at him like, man, you doing good for the brothers. You know what I'm saying? He got too much count riding on it. And I can kind of tell that Errol Spence's personality to me is he's that type of he's kind of like shy a little bit, where he don't really like to be in the media too much, but he understands that a lot of people like him, so he kind of embrace it, but he don't really like to be like that. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people that loves Errol Spence, man. You know what I'm saying? I think the majority of YouTube channels, the most views they ever get is on an Errol Spence video. You know what I'm saying? People checking for him, man. People that don't even watch boxing is checking for Errol Spence. You know, my last job that I used to work at before I, you know, start doing this YouTube stuff for real, when this YouTube start paying the majority of the bills, I used to work at Toyota. You know, I was an automotive, you know, ASC certified technician. I work on cars, do all that stuff. And one of the mechanics I used to work with, you know, old school Haitian dude, man. That's my brother right there. I got to go back and see him. But he don't watch boxing like that. But I showed him Errol Spence, and the dude was like, man, I like Errol. He like, man, I want to see this guy, you know, more. Like, you know, he started calling Errol like he knew Errol. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he has that personality to where he resonates with the people. Similar to Deontay Wilder as well. I got to drop that Wilder interview too. I got a little Wilder interview at the fight. But y'all stay tuned for that. But he got that personality that gravitates people to him, man. And he can't be out there losing like that. He had the whole arena nervous, bro. I'm talking about, it was to the point where I can yell and scream at the ring and the whole arena can hear me because that's how quiet it was in there. You know what I'm saying? So, Errol, if you listening, if you ever listen, you got to get yourself under control. You got to take a page out of Mayweather's book. Stay in shape, eat right, and keep training, man. Keep training. So, hell of a fight, though, man. One hell of a fight. I could not be more happy with the performance of both of these fighters, man. They put up, man, shit was impressive. He said, get a mic. I had to buy the wifey and my LOL girl a man down shirt. Oh, your little girl. He says they love that fool. Yeah. You right. My own Everybody in my family love Errol. All the girls in my family like Errol. I be having to cover the wife's eyes at the weigh-in, like, baby, put. And he just took his pants off, turned around, like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, these jokes, man. But so yeah, man, like that's the type of person, man. The brothers respect him. The man can fight. He's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? The girls like him. You know, he's just the type of the person that the whole hood resonates with. So he got to do better, man. He got to make sure he continues to make weight, so he can be that transcendent star. He could be that star, that next Mayweather for real. But he just got to work, man. Year-round work. You know, you young? Wait till you get older to retire. He said Spence got to stay away from Broner. Broner be influenced and tanked, though not good. Yeah, not at all. And this is one thing I was saying too, that I kind of really didn't want to, you know, offend anybody. I didn't really want to make it seem as though I was coming at Errol Spence's character. But, you know, between him and Shawn Porter, I think Shawn Porter is obviously, to me, he's more mature. You know, I think the first time I realized that I don't know how mature Errol Spence is, you know, he just like, I think it was when he was in the locker room after that fight, you know, he's just like, I don't know, it's just something about the way he does this thing where you could just tell that he kind of got like a very young mind, you know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense, you know. You know, I don't know grown men to just be, you know, in there in the locker room. You got Fox PBC, everybody in there. You just on your phone, and Twitter and Instagram, and you know, over there keying. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Look, you know, grown men, you know. And I had a dude tell me, man, at the fight. I finally met Michael Vick, man. I've been trying to meet Mike Vick for the longest, man. I finally got a chance to meet Mike Vick. It was pretty dope, man. And I was like, hey, Mike Vick, man, what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? I've been, you know, I'm starting talking to him and stuff. I'm like, man, I came to your fight, man. I came to your football game, and you was injured. You know what I'm saying? I came to see you, man. I was pissed off. He was like, man, which fight was that? He was like, I'm always injured. He said, I'm always injured. So I'm like, yeah, man, the one when you came to Tampa, you were supposed to play, but you had got injured, and Nick Foles had started for you. And he was like, oh, yeah, I remember that game. I know what you're talking about. And I was like, yeah, man, let me get a picture with you real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I took a picture, you know what I'm saying? What up, Vic? You know what I'm saying? Taking a few pictures. And this one dude was like, hey, man, you can take a picture. You can take a picture of me and Vic real quick. He was like, yeah, because I don't take selfies. I'm a grown-ass man. He like, yeah, I don't take selfies. I'm a man. I'm like, all right, then, well, goddamn. Like, you saying I'm not a man because I just took a picture of me and Vic? Oh, man, that shit crazy, bro. But, yeah, man, there's so much fun stuff that happened at that fight, man. A fight broke out right behind us, bro. Shit was crazy, dog. Fight broke out right behind us. I tried to jump up on the chair. Everybody jumping up on their chairs, and then my chair, you know the little chairs that do like a little, like the seat like folds up and shit. I had to stepped on the back part, seat folded up. I almost bust my ass, bro. Shit was crazy. But it was so much excitement at that fight. I enjoyed it, man. And California is crazy. Probably won't go back. But I never knew that much stuff was going on over there on the West Coast, man. I had never been before as an adult. And it's like freaking people and buildings everywhere, bro. It's people and buildings everywhere in LA. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can find a person probably up in the tree somewhere. It's like it's not a place you can go where there's not a person there. And I've been to New York plenty of times, but New York is more congested, you know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, man. Just a hell of a trip, hell of a fight. I'm gonna be dropping some more content for y'all enjoyment, man. I really appreciate everybody's support, everybody that's been showing love to the channel. I can't thank y'all enough. But we're gonna come back, man. We here pretty much every night at about 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we're gonna try we're gonna try and make it work. He says, I saw the fight. I was at Staples Center for Spence-Porter, Jim. John Cream. Okay, Kramer. Okay. Yeah, man, it was a hell of a fight, bro. For sure. So, appreciate everybody. This your boy, Get a Mic. This is Jim Boxing right here. We're gonna do this a lot more. So appreciate everybody. And I'm out of here, man. Peace.